I joined the organization because unfortunately our family, like many others, have been directly affected by cancer. And the Waxman Foundation has a collaborative approach that made a lot of sense to me.
I went into cancer research because I wanted to cure cancer. My mother had cancer when I was 16 and died when I was 17. That was the biggest loss in my life, and I've devoted myself to make a difference in understanding and then treating patients with that disease.
The ultimate goal of being a scientist is to be useful to our cancer patient.
My father had prostate cancer, so I really felt cancer was affecting now not only my study, but my personal life.
Spending as much time in waiting rooms as I do, as many doctor's appointments as I attend, you do meet a lot of people with cancer. I'm in a position now where I've been dealing with cancer for 6 years, and I've tried every conventional medicine that's been available. I've had several different combinations of chemotherapy. I've had over 130 radiation treatments. It just didn't cure my cancer. There's over 30 tumors between my waist and my collarbones. And I find myself in a position where, I need the next thing. And the next thing is the kind of thing that, the Waxman Foundation is pushing forward. It's the cutting edge of cancer medicine.
One of the hallmarks of the Waxman Foundation is that they look for treatments that are more humane, less toxic to the patients and the recipients of those treatments. Additionally, their concentration is on epigenetic research, treating cells outside of altering the nucleic DNA.
What we do affects all forms of cancer. So if we get a new science idea in one form of cancer, you'd be sure that it's just another variation in another form of cancer.
I came, to the foundation was to do not only bench work, but to actually see it translated in affecting real people's life. And, I'm proud to say that we have done that.
I think what makes the foundation special is their collaborative approach to recognizing that cancer is everybody's problem, and they feel that everybody has a shared responsibility in finding a solution to it.
It's become clear that science is so complex in order to deliver a program of significance, you have to have multidisciplinary groups working together.
You cannot do research in isolation. It's really like a scientific community. And I think that's another aspect of the Waxman Foundation, that they're really supporting collaboration.
But this foundation is doing things that are formative, that are real, and that are producing results. And I think anytime you get involved with an organization, that's kind of what you'll look for.
Keeping this organization in motion and funding the research that they're doing is the critical thing that's going to push cancer treatment to the next level.
The people in the foundation are best equipped to understand where the incremental scientific dollar is going to have the greatest impact.
If an individual has an interest, they can come to the foundation and say, I want to make a donation, and get a brief summary of what it's all about. And so they know what they're investing in.
I think as an investor, looking at it from that standpoint, they make very efficient use of the money. They're very careful about the grants that are given. They are bringing together, I think, some of the greatest scientific community to vet these ideas. And I think their approach is less political and less biased than any particular individual experience they have, but more predicated on the advancement of science.
The achievement that we have done in the last 12 years have definitively not be possible without the support of the foundation.
If I can spend less time writing grants, which I do essentially nonstop, I could spend much more time in the lab, and I think that would be a more valuable use of time.
My blood counts are very low, and I'm in a kind of race against time where we're waiting for my blood counts to recover. My disease is progressing. I need help. People like me need help. We need that next thing. And it's nights like tonight that are going to make that happen.
I get a sense that this foundation is doing things that are formative, that are real, and that are producing results.
To take something from the laboratory, an idea that you could see this happening, into a patient with a horrendous form of leukemia, which was 90% fatal, and turn that disease around to something that's 95% curable, and 95% curable in most patients without chemotherapy.
I think for most scientists, it's more than a job. It becomes an obsession, really, and it doesn't leave you. You take a walk in the park, you think about it. You wake up in the middle of the night to have a glass of water, and I think that's what we have to do. It's not a job. It's your life. It's your passion.
When I think about how many families have been affected by cancer, I could think of very few other places where I'd want to put my money than someplace where I know somebody's working towards, treating the kind of cancer that either affected my family or potentially will down the road. Because ultimately, I think the stat now is 1 in 3 of us will have cancer by the time we die. So, what gives us hope for a night like tonight? I mean, you might be funding the research that's going to save your own life in 20 years. You might be doing something for the next generation or the generation after. If every family's been affected by cancer, it's almost like a gift towards your family.